All right. Gloves are... Hold on. Gloves are off. It's roasting time. All right, now that I can actually see, let's get into some of another episode of Roast Your Kit. Now, as you guys know, things have been changing up a little bit around here with how we do the roast series, and that's no different, but this is the last of the old style for the Roast Your Kit. It has been 2 months since I opened up submissions for this episode, and my God, you guys submitted a ton. I haven't looked at any of these this time. I'm gonna scroll through, find the ones that stand out to me, and we'll talk about them. The first one that caught my eye was from Seska, and this is his indoor airsoft kit. And the thing that really got me was the uniqueness of the plate carrier. This is the LBT 6094A ULV with real plates, and I think ULV stands for ultra light version. That's just my guess. But it's got all the Gucci stuff on there. You got Shaw Concepts, Agilite, T-Rex Arms, Spiritus, S-Tac. There's really cool stuff, and it really fits together with sort of that, I don't know, British airsofter vibe. I'm not sure where you're actually from, but I did notice the British flag on your helmet, which maybe gives it away. I'm not sure. It almost reminds me of those pig rigs. I don't know if that's exactly what they were called, but they had the shoulder straps going all the way down and the entire front panel was Velcro. This is kind of like that, but it only has the 2 straps. And I think that offers a unique look. It definitely looks very refined and well thought out, and I appreciate that. What I also appreciate is you running a GBLS. I have not seen one of those on the field or in person ever, but for you to actually rock it is kind of neat. I like the bump helmet too. This is definitely, again, that indoor airsoft vibe, but it's not the speed soft and it's not the I'm going all milsim. It's kind of somewhere in between. Almost like a police vibe loadout because of the black and the gray, but I like it a lot. And you know what? I think it's a perfect one to start off on. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 for me. Only thing I would have loved to see totally is top to bottom. We're kind of missing your whole head setup here, with the exception of the helmet in the separate part. But anyway, let's continue on. The next one comes from Nutch R75, a previous winner of Roast Your Kit. So you know this kit is going to be beautiful. And you know what? This is the update I was looking for. I loved his kit so much when he first sent it in, but we only had like 1 or 2 pictures. This is a circa 2022 US Army 75th Ranger loadout. While he's got a number of repro items on here, I'm not sure if it's just the pictures, the poses, or whatnot, but these look like reference photos. For longtime fans of this series, you know that I love impression kits, and that was the original root of this series. So to see one sent in with reference photos and a full kit list is fantastic. You've got things like an Ops Corps Maritime with Peltor 3s and a whole bunch of other helmet accessories. You've got a Repro Cry AVS, but you've got TYR and Eagle Industries pouches, as well as some Cry and Faro concepts, and more Eagle, TYR, and Safari Lane on your belt line. You're rocking a GHK M4, so gas blowback automatically gets props for me. And just the overall nature and vibe of this kit, I don't know, man. I think you crush this to another level. It's hard for me to not give this a 10 out of 10. I have no notes, no corrections, other than you did a great job, and I would love to see this kit on the field. In fact, when I go to Milsim West, Black Sea Storm, we're going to be rolling with some Ranger guys. Nutch, thanks for sending in an updated kit. This is beautiful. Absolute perfection. RatAttack sends in a modern IDF kit, and yes, controversial, I know, but I always love good impression kits. And while you said it's no specific unit, it is a mix of all the equipment that you do see used over there in the current conflicts. It looks like you're rocking some real IDF equipment and Meram Dolphin equipment, which I've never heard of before, but your plate carrier, helmet cover, and your belt line all come from that. I think the rifle is really part of the standout of this loadout, especially because it's informed by modern day conflict needs. You have an IDF M4 with an M203, which you have submitted before, a Mars sight, and a short M203 handguard with a ladder sight. And you know what? I think, again, you could drop yourself into the current conflict, you'd fit right in, it looks really cool, and I appreciate a well done kit. So for that, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, only because it's a little spicy. That weird dude sends in what I deem to be sort of the modern gun tube influencer loadout. Not in any bad way either. You look like you could be in the Arizona desert right now making YouTube videos. Maybe it's because that first photo reminded me of admin results. When will he ever come home? But you've got a Spirit of Systems Thing 2, a RatAttack Peacekeeper Triple Mag placard in Multicam Tropic, which I think also gives me that kind of vibe because it looks like you're in a desert environment, yet using Multicam Tropic, so maybe that's what teed me off to that. And a bunch of other Faro, Haley, and Peltor Spirit, all the Gucci gear and all that kind of modern stuff that you'll see sold to the civilian market. What I think I like most though is your surplus M81 top that's raid modded. I've been wearing some other stuff lately, but I love the raid mod tops. They're super cool. And again, in the desert, wearing woodland, like, come on. Your rifle is from Specna Arms, and I love that paint job on it. Again, this looks like it came from AMS, so I wish that sticker wasn't there, because otherwise this would look like a really cool photo. The other thing I'm curious about is why you chose to have a Coyote GP pouch from Spiritus. I mean, it literally doesn't matter. It's airsoft, but Just curious if it would look a little bit more cohesive if you had a multicam Tropic or even a Ranger green one. Regardless, I don't think that detracts any points from it. I'm gonna call this one an admin out of 10 for me. I love the look of it, and it looks really functional, and you know, everybody's favorite internet people wear it now, so I appreciate it. Good job. As I'm scrolling through these, I realize how many people come from the UK. I didn't know I had that big of a following there, so shout out you guys, governor. That probably wasn't the right thing to say. But okay, I wanted to get to the Nom kit. This was one coming from Punisher, and he says that this is his officer's webset, so more of an officer's type loadout. You've got all your M56, some repro smoke grenades, some star clusters and all, and a PRC-6, which I think is one of the things that made this loadout stand out to me. It's a standard USGI Vietnam War loadout, in essence. But again, that PRC-6 really looked cool in the photo, but I love that M18 dummy. As you guys know, or maybe you don't know, I love making those repro smoke grenades. It's a little cold right now to do the painting, but they're super fun and they look really accurate. And while I didn't make the one that you're using, dude, it looks fantastic. The purple is my favorite color, and I can just see it barely poking out at the top. So Punisher, this is a great job. I'd love some unit SSI or maybe just picking a particular unit to reenact, but you've got the general look down. So this one's gonna get a 9 out of 10 for me as well. Once again, as always, I realize this isn't really roasting more than rating, so maybe we'll change the name. I don't know, roast has more of a punchy connotation to it. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? And speaking of let me know in the comments, if you guys are in my Discord, you get to chime in on a ton of this. So let's talk about how you can get yours in the next episode. December is going to be another Roast Your Build video, but we're going to kick it off in January with Roast Your Kits. Now, usually I give myself about a month to put together the video and go through all the photos, but we're doing things a little bit differently, and that's how you get your opinions in. I'm going to give you guys a chance to use all of your fancy new stuff that you get for Christmas from mom and dad, or that you bought yourself. But I want you guys to send your kit pictures into me by January 9th. And then by January 30th or maybe 31st, actually probably 31st, that video is gonna go live. Now, here's where everyone can contribute to it though. While you do have to submit in my Discord, I want photos, a kit list, and as well as whatever details you want me to include, like if you have a specific YouTube channel or Instagram or whatever. But everybody is gonna be able to vote on it, and I am only going to roast the top 10 votes. I would absolutely love to react to some weird kits out there. So if you want to see my opinions or get yours submit it by January 9th in the TGL Discord down below. Let's keep going with the video though. Some of you guys out here on the TGL community love SCP kits. There's a few of you guys who have submitted those in the past, but they've always gotten a little bit of traction. This one comes from Sen, and Sen submits a kit based on the eco-terroristic group Serpent's Hand. For YouTube out there, it's not real terrorism, please. It's joking kind of SCP lore, I don't know. But I wanted to include it because it had some weird British camo mixed with German stuff and actual Linderhof tactic. And you guys know, I love my Linderhof. You've got an FMA high cut with some fancy accessories, an original British DPM combat shirt with Flecktarn combat pants from Invader Gear, and your chest rig is a Linderhof tactic one-piece one, which you don't see those used in kits too often, as well as Templar gear and Tasmanian Tiger pouches. And you know what? It's a unique vibe. It's definitely not something I would run, especially because you're rocking AK. That was a little bit dramatic. I'm sorry. I don't hate AKs that much. We're still going to do one of those episodes in 2026. I can't argue with it. It's definitely something that's more video game or SCP based that I don't know a lot about, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe you SCP nerds will like it better than I do though. And this next one comes from one of my favorite guys out there. His name is Op4Airsoft. You have no doubt seen him on the channel before. You have no doubt seen him on Instagram, or I don't know, every time someone wants to post an NVA related item, this goes for any tactical company or historical page or whatever, they always land on his photo. He sends in an autumn weather kit, and this is a generic airsoft kit, but he's rocking one of my favorite Russian camo patterns. On top, he's running the Russian mountain flora. For some reason, that bright green, brown, and orange looks really cool to me. On the bottom, he's got Alpenflage pants, one of my least favorite camo patterns, so kind of a dichotomy there. And then a Type 95 chest rig, an East German map case, a TW LTP with a PVS-14, oh, Team Wendy, and an Arcturus AK-105 with a Starry Sky sling. You know what, man? It's a total mishmash of so many different things, and I love it for that. It's just all cool camos mixed into one, and for some reason it blends. It doesn't look like a surplus store kit, which I think is the biggest thing here. So Op4Airsoft, thanks again for sending one in. It's an easy 10 out of 10 for me, as always, dude. Good job. World War Doofus on YouTube sends in a German Bundeswehr 1990s kit. And dude, this looks peak 1990s Bundeswehr. You have all of these standard equipment that they were issued, including that obnoxious harness. Although it does look like it needs to adjust just a tad higher. I don't know why it seems a little loose and low, but maybe that's just the body armor making it look strange. I will say, dude, the only thing that you need is that G36, and this would be absolute peak. You did a fantastic job on this. Maybe adjusting it a little bit more to get it to fit you better, whatever. As soon as you get one of those in your hands, a G36 to be specific, I think you would nail this look. Easy 8 out of 10 just because you're missing the gun. Oh my God, even more British dudes. This next one, I'm going to give it to him because I don't think I've roasted him in the past, even though he submitted previously. This comes from Afoch Toby. And this is your time, dude. Thank you for sending it in with more details and more kit pictures. But this is your 100% European Airsofter loadout. You've got Flecktarn almost head to toe with a Novrich head setup, you said, an Airsoft to go and Tasmanian Tiger plate carrier with pouches, and a Specna Arms Edge 2.0. Like, without a doubt, this is very Eurosoft. And you know what? I think it looks okay. It's not my favorite, but the only thing that really throws me off about it is that stock. It is a very clear Airsoft stock. And for some reason, if you swapped it over to maybe like a full stock, that might look better with the Mark 12 kit. But again, that's just my opinion. That's what this whole series is. Thank you for resubmitting it. I'm going to give you an 8 out of 10 just because I think the stock throws me off. Here's a kit submission from Famine. If you guys are on my Discord, you definitely see this guy, and you know when I kind of make fun of him for being the GMR Wannabe. He doesn't have a one particular kit, but I'm going to flash all of his kits on screen. It looks like he's doing an impression kit of an Airsoft player, or Paintball Paul, if you know you know. Which, I'm not going to lie, I loved the GMR vibe back when they used to produce their old high-ready clips. When they came out with that Airsoft training video, I was like 12 years old, and that was the coolest thing ever. He's got a GMR weapons carrier with a GMR Gen 4 DPNU or Mossy Bottomland bag. In some of his stuff, he's rocking Cry, Velocity, Tasmanian Tiger, a whole bunch of Oscam you said you have, and the F2 Stoner 63, I think is what makes this a GMR kit at its final form. If you guys remember, if you New England Airsofters remember when GMR finally switched from going M4s to all running those chopped mini LMGs, yeah, you know what I mean. It's a cool vibe, and it can definitely be appreciated for its effectiveness. But yeah, it's just GMR out of 10, man. The next one comes from one of the Patreon subscribers. And this comes from Pick, which, huge shout out to him. He's been kind of an inspiration lately. He's been making some of his own gear and is kind of getting into that world. I don't want to soft launch his stuff for him, but definitely keep an eye on what he's doing. But this is sort of his DCU Raiders loadout. That's just what I'm calling it. He's rocking a DCU that is raid modded by himself, an OpsCore style helmet with some accessories, and a Perez Designs plate carrier, which I've never heard before, but it kind of looks cool. He made his own base belt with some Balks ELCS and Eagle Industries stuff, as well as a homemade harness. Your armament, you noted it is a M240B built to the nines. I would love to hear more about it. Send it in the comments below, dude. I'd be so curious to hear everything you did on this. But I don't know, man. It just rocks. I love the DCU with the Woodland combo, and using a 240, like, it just looks like a really effective, clean machine gunner kit. And oftentimes you see, like, even I've run it. When I ran the LMG, I had a bunch of M4 mags on the front, or, well, G36 mags. I don't know. It just doesn't always look right when you only have box mags. And I get the intention real world, but this looks like a killer kit that you could go prone in, you could move quickly in, and you can still have all the gear that you need. So Pick, easy 10 out of 10 for me, dude. Especially because you're making your own stuff. Props to you. The last one's gonna come from Ryan, and this is his Air Force Special Warfare TACP impression. You're rocking an OpsCore Maritime with OpsCore amps and an OpsCore counterweight. Other accessories like 1431 NVGs with the PVS-31 battery pack. You have a Cry AVS plate carrier with core pontoons, some JPC wings, some T3 gear, and 2 TCA 152s with U94 V1s. Dude, rocking 2 of those radios? I mean, Mr. Moneybags over here. And man, this is really freaking cool. Was this taken at Yasny? I heard all about the cacti and the moon dust, but I don't know, maybe there's some context I'm missing. But this loadout just kicks ass, dude. I love how this looks. Especially with the dual antenna sticking out. Like, I don't know. You don't really see a lot of loadouts doing that well. If so, it's just airsofters with 2 battle fangs in their pockets. But for a real TACP impression, you crushed it. Without a doubt, Ryan, a 10 out of 10 and a killer one to end on. So that wraps up this Roast Your Kit. Again, if you want to get yours in the next, send it to me by January 9th in the Discord. I need kit photos and a kit list and any other things you want to plug. It will get voted on, so if you're just watching this, jump in the Discord now, get voting on those as soon as submissions open up, which will be by the time this video is up. And we'll see you guys in the next video and roast video, and I don't know, we got a ton of stuff coming up, so stay tuned.